Bonsoir, bonjour, bienvenue. Comment ça va? Welcome back to the Ligue podcast, Love and Ligue. I'm back here with my awesome co-host Jorge. How are you today, my friend?
How I'm doing the best that I can. French teams got some interesting lineups for Champions League. Europa League and Conference League are tomorrow in terms of the draw, so we'll see how that's going to turn out. But can't wait to talk about French football today and this past weekend's first match day of the league, and talk about all the great results that came through with it as well, and talk about next week's games as well.
Yeah, there were some fun games over the weekend. It did start out last Friday with Strasbourg and Marseille. That game was not one of the fun games, though. Strasbourg, yeah, we might have to rethink our pick on that one. They did not look very good. They got their butts kicked. I think it was 4-0 the final. I did a watch along on the channel if anybody was tuning in for that one. But we always have some people there. Those are always fun. But yeah, that game was... I mean, Strasbourg came out and they attacked in the first 10 minutes, and then it was very clear they could not sustain that for more than 10 minutes. And yeah, Marseille didn't really come alive until the second half, but they sure came alive and they scored 4 goals. 1 goal before halftime and then 3 goals after halftime. So unfortunately, I don't have my notes with me because I had a little incident. My notes got compromised. They're in the process of being fixed, but I can't remember who I thought of as my standout player from that game, but must have been somebody from Marseille. It'll come to me later in the stream. So, but yeah, that game was on Friday, and then Saturday was the final game, wasn't it? I don't remember. Was that Saturday or Sunday?
You're breaking it. I'm sorry. What was that again, Kels? What?
One of us is having internet problems.
The Lyon game?
Was that Saturday or Sunday, the Lyon game?
Was the Lyon game that you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's probably me, like usual. Hold on.
Poor Jorge's got
Saturday.
this McDonald's internet.
Saturday was the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the funny thing is, my cable box is right here for the internet. Not even 2 feet away.
That is super frustrating, but yeah, anyways.
Kels, I would say continue on, and I'm going to get myself fixed. I'll be right back.
Okay, Jorge's going to go fix his internet, I guess. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he's fixing the internet. So another good game was oh my God, I'm blanking right here. But anyways, we had some good games. Let's see, Friday. Okay, Saturday. Okay, Saturday was the Lens and Angers game. That was the one I was getting my days confused. I did not see Toulouse-Lyon, which Jorge will tell us about later, but because Jorge was watching, it was on at the same time, and I only had room for one screen. Okay, there he is. Okay, yeah. So the Lens Angers game. That's what I call a Ligue 1 game right there. Lens went ahead and they were balling out, and then Angers got a pen, and they crawled back into it, and it was just this wild game. It was, I think, at one point it was 2-0 or 3-0, and then it was 3-1, and then it was 3-2, and then it was 5-2 final. So just a crazy Ligue 1 game. That's what we do. They're just super fun. How's the internet, Jorge? His internet is hoeing. His internet is hoeing. Lyon did rotate in their game. I'll talk about it. Actually, no, I'll talk about the Troyes game, because remember, Troyes is one of the teams I'm paying attention to. That game was not very fun between Paris FC and Troyes. It was a 0-0 game. Nothing to. Oh, there he is. He's sideways.
There we go. Let's try it this way, because
on your phone.
My laptop is just being a little diva-like today, so I apologize ahead of time, guys. So obviously, I know you talked about the Troyes game a little bit, so thank you very much.
That's all I needed to. I said I was one sentence. All I needed to say.
That's pretty much what it was when it was 0-0. I was gonna say, before my internet decided to go shit end on me, Strasbourg fans, look away. You guys are in crisis mode. We were very generous in giving you guys 10th place, but the way you guys started out in preseason and that first game with no discipline, with getting that red card, and losing 4-0, 4-1, something like that. I am seriously worried about you. Seriously worried about you. I think this will be my first opinion, bet that I think he will be the first one to go. Chelsea put in so much money into this team. He's going to be the first one to go. Like, a lot of these teams, is again, we have to keep in mind this league is not the richest league, and they have to sell a lot. Lyon specifically, after what happened in the Champions League, which we'll get to that too, as well as Monaco, as well as Marseille, as well as Strasbourg, have to sell. And the kind of players that Strasbourg has, it's not good enough at the moment. And you can definitely tell from that first match game, it was just, they were hoeing. They were hoeing. It made Marseille look like they were Real Madrid. And obviously they're at the Velodrome. It's not an easy place to play. But I am seriously, seriously worried. I think Steve can agree. He said it during the live streams. He is extremely worried about Strasbourg. And I think we can agree. We are agreeing with that as well. It doesn't help that their next opponent outside of Marseille is a trip at home to Lens, who we'll talk also later. Their Champions League opponents have done a very good job with what they have. So if they don't get any points against Lens, I think this might be a little too early, but we'll wait a couple more weeks possibly once that first international break of September, October international break. But don't be surprised if they're going to be one of the first ones to sack, because they didn't have a great preseason. They didn't have a good first match day. One of their players is now out for at least one, maybe more, depending on how the committee is in terms of the red card itself, as it was direct red card. It's just not looking great. And I'm actually very concerned about Strasbourg. Now, in terms of Marseille, I'm still worried about them. This was against a Strasbourg team that was cutting
I don't think we learned anything about Marseille in this game.
No, and they still haven't been able to buy.
That's the one who got the brace. Sorry.
True, and it's that same person that doesn't want to leave, as well as Aguirre and many other players that don't want to leave, and therefore, there was reports this week that Bruno might walk because they're trying to sell, I think it's Igor Paixão, something like that, from Marseille, and he likes that player, and they're forced to sell him because Højbjerg and Aguirre don't want to leave, and they need to lower their wage bills to a point where the DNCG says, hey, you're good to go. It's a good, solid amount that you sold, and your wage bill is good enough that you can afford to spend it and getting players in. And there's less than 6 days left of this transfer window, and they still haven't been able to satisfy the DNCG, and I'm truly worried. Yeah, they can keep the players, but the DNCG don't give a shit about that. They care about the finances, and if you can't keep your finances in order, they will administratively relegate you. We've experienced that. It's not pretty. It's not easy. It's stressful. So for me, Marseille, yeah, they had a great result, but their transfer strategy, there is no transfer strategy at the moment because they can't buy players and no one wants to leave. They're on very good wages and they don't want to get a salary cut. And I don't blame them. That's from the previous administration that was going on. So you can't do much about it. So for me, Marseille did good against that game, but anyone can beat fucking Strasbourg at this point. So we'll see about their game because their next challenge is against Monaco. And this Monaco team is disciplined and done a very good job. They did a very good job against Le Havre. Yeah, it might be 1-0, but they did a very good job for Felipe Luis's first day in charge. But yeah, that's their next challenge, and that will be the true test and see how they are. But yeah, great game overall when I saw the highlights. However, one team is really, really, really just not doing it, and the other one is like, meh. Yeah. It looks good, but they're papering over the cracks.
Yeah, you are apparently Lyonnais soccer daddy. I'm Croatian soccer mom, and you are Leonese soccer daddy, according to 10.
Sure.
That's 10 for you, though. 10, our favorite.
Oh God.
Big up 10. Hold that. He's watching Big Brother instead of watching us. What a hoe bag.
Also, shouldn't he be in bed right now?
I've just given up.
It's
That
2
kid
a.m.
stays up
It's
till
almost
5
3
in the
a.m.
morning.
over there for
It's
him.
very
So yeah. But anyways, speaking of which, I want you to briefly, because obviously we're going to talk a little bit more about the streams that we did have on this past weekend. And I know for particular you were watching a little bit more of the Lens versus Auxerre. 5-2, entertaining game, back and front. Can you give us like a little description of what you thought and your thoughts, knowing that this is a game that like you don't have any skin in the game. Neither did you have for the Strasbourg-Marseille. But those first two games, you already talked about the first one. Well, how was your thoughts on this game itself? Because this looked like it was end-to-end action and very good discipline from Lens, because they sold a lot and their coach, but they were able to replace and be able to look good as if nothing ever happened, from the turmoil.
Oh, no. Oh, poor Seismic. Oh. Seismic is also a Leon fan, and he can't handle it.
We'll talk about
get into that. We'll tell you when we're about to start that section, and we won't make you listen to us.
We have a lot of bones to pick on that one. But hold that thought, Seismic. Let me tell you, I have a bone to pick with some people on there. But continue on the Lens versus Auxerre.
Yeah, so the Lens versus Angers was just like
Auxerre.
I didn't know.
Not Angers. Angers played Lille.
Auger and Angers are two different.
Yeah.
Auger and Angers. That's the difference.
Yeah.
They sound similar, but they're not. One is an A-N-G and one is an A-U-X. But they still sound the same. Language, right? It's like English. When they have some weird shit you're just like, how are these the same words? Like Texas and Arkansas. You're like, why is this Texas and why is this Arkansas?
Yeah, right.
Anyways, yeah, so I mean, Lens, they almost won the league last year. They did win the Coupe de France, or the Super Cup, whatever that one right before the season started.
Super Cup.
And but they sold Sangare, and they did make some other sales as well. And so I wonder, I'm curious how they would respond to that, the sales plus being in Champions League. And I get that in the microcosm, this is only one game. But, you can see that they have a lot of attacking, prowess. They're very good attacking. They jumped out to an early lead. But then they kind of fell apart a little bit towards the end. I think they jumped to about a 3-0 lead, and they were on cruise control, and then they gave up a penalty. And then Auxerre quickly scored a goal afterwards. And you're thinking, oh, this is a close game. What are we doing? And then Lens remembered who they were and comfortably won the game 5-2, but just very fun game, very chaotic, very typical Ligue 1. So if anybody's if you want fun football where there's no low blocks, there's none of that crap. That's why we keep pushing on this Ligue 1 stuff, because it's just fun. There's not, I think it's very good. I think there's a lot of technical players, a lot of physical players, but the quality just overall in the league is just very low.
Yeah.
And it keeps, and the reason it keeps kind of falling off is because the Premier League is starting to realize that they can poach players from Ligue 1. And they poached Sangare, they poached Jeremy Jacquet. My team just poached Boadi. I completely missed the Lille game because Lille were playing at the same time as Man City. We'll get into that later. That's the Sunday action we'll discuss. And just a crazy game, but super fun. Seismically said Auger was tiable in final third. The opportunity, they did. Yeah, exactly. So that's a little concern about Lens when you lose a Sangare and you're a little more open in the middle, and a team like Auger could just waltz through your middle and create all these chances to score. And if they had the quality, they would have scored the goals. But they didn't. Yeah. They lack the quality because they don't have the money that the other leagues do. So they're just scraping by with what they got.
And let's face it, Florian Thauvin, who was, I believe, there last year, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I believe is the captain this year, scored 2 goals, one from the spot and one out of open play, was the man of the match. And rightfully so, scoring 2 goals and being able to help dictate the midfield and help that forward line with Sima And you have Cuisance, former Bayern Munich player, who was part of that midfield. Did a decent job, but as you said before, they did release the gas pedal, and that basically caused Auxerre to have some hope in going forward. Now, for Auxerre, I will admit they did have a red card from Makoso. I'm not sure that was in the second half. Either the first half or the second half. I'm not mistaken. The first half, excuse me. It was in the 35th minute. And basically it was almost like a game set match in a sense, because now you have Auxerre playing with 10 men and having to sacrifice something. And Diomande, who's his striking center back party, have to deal with the likes of Florian Tomval, Sima, Ivanovic, and all those coming forward. And their forward line wasn't that great. Obviously, Loder had a goal, and Sai had a goal, but for Auxerre. But former Lyon player Romain Fèvre, unfortunately, had not a great game. Former Lyon player, and it kind of shows. He's been bouncing around. He's played for Lorient, he played for Brest, he played for Lyon, he plays for Bournemouth, and it just hasn't been much great for him. So hopefully they can get bounced back. But for Lens, great for them. Great. It was like a 3-5-2 that they had. So what's working is working. And so far, obviously, Champions League starts next week. The Europa League starts the following week. So hopefully we'll see how that goes now with a true test. Obviously, this weekend they're playing Strasbourg. Most likely, whoever their first opponent is, because they had their lists, but they did not have who their first opponent is. Whenever that happens, most likely that first game this weekend is going to probably be sort of a rotated side, but they can afford to because it's against Strasbourg. So Strasbourg might have a little lease of life because of that. But remember, and then we'll get to this next game, Lyon also rotated and yet still won. So they might have if Lens can get that rotated squad before their first game and still get some points in Strasbourg, that means they have some good depth to be able to handle early on, because the Coupe de France won't happen until probably December before the break. So they have a way of being able to help balance between Champions League and the league at the same time. But it's a true test in the next couple of days, because you have the game on this weekend against Strasbourg. Whatever game that they have midweek, because obviously we don't know what it is yet, but we do have their opponents. And then the following week when I believe, which I don't have it yet, because obviously it's Labor Day weekend in front of me, but whatever that game is post-Champions League, how will they go from the highs of Champions League back down to earth in the league itself? That is a true test for them for this coming week, just to see whether this team really truly can be a contender for Champions League spots, or it could be other European competitions like the Europa League or Conference League. So,
yeah, I'll just run through a couple other scores that happened on Saturday just before, because I'll give you the platform. I want you to talk about the Lyon game because you actually watched it. I wasted my time on I think Troyes and Paris FC were playing at the same time, and that was just not very good. But yeah, Le Mans and Brest, they tied 2-2. They got a draw. Nice and Lorient was 0-0. And then, as I said before, Troyes and Paris FC were 0-0. It was a little lively. Paris FC were all right, and Troyes was fighting for their life. Detorbe did not sub on, so my CFG watch did not go well, but and apparently he played today. But anyways, we'll talk about. No need to talk about that right now. But yeah. And then the last game was Lyon. Ils ont gagné 2-0.
It was a very when I first heard that we're going to be rotating the entire squad.
No, this is the good thing. This is a good part. It's when they won. So we'll talk about them winning.
I was very shocked that we were able to get a result, because let's face it, every single player that played that game at the start was a bench player. Deschamps was the backup to Greif, Academe, Mata, Bakker, Adurago, Mateus de Carvalho, Bidstrup, Duranville, Nardi, Buadash, and Himbert all were not the starters. So clearly he had his intentions for this coming past yesterday. And in the league, it went well. Noah Nardi scoring the opening goal, and then Malik Fofana coming in and basically killing the game off, being 2-0. I think this was the first game for their coach, Asko. I believe he was part of the Danish league. So this was his first game in charge, or like first league game, excuse me. So obviously it's a little bit of growing pain for him because it's a new coach. Again, this league has about, I think like 3/4 of them are new coaches. So it's just getting the acclimation from the players to the coach with his tactics. It's going to be a little bit of a growing pains. That's what preseason is for, but obviously the first couple of games is kind of like that as well. But it was a good result for Lyon in the league. But then they didn't follow up on that on Wednesday.
Yeah, 15
talk
players.
afterwards.
It's crazy.
I have a bone to pick with some people, and I'm not particularly happy with you that. I think we found a very good right back who is on loan from AC Milan with Athekame. I think him and Congo, in my opinion, which is one of the youth products that we have here at Lyon, is miles better than Ainsley Maitland-Niles, which I will get to when we talk about that, because I have a bone to pick with that motherfucker. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. We'll get to some suspense in there. So, great game. Great to get 3 points. Next game is going to be at home to Le Havre. We'll see how that reception is going to be. I think he'll probably rotate some players. Obviously, hopefully, Athekame gets his start over Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Probably some of the people that played in Toulouse get a start too. Probably most likely Malik Fofana will be leaving because we did not qualify for Champions League. Because if we had the Champions League money, it would have helped in terms of the budgeting. But because of the loss of that extra TV rights revenue from Champions League, we now have to sell. So Roma will be coming in and we'll be negotiating with him to play for Roma.
Whoa, Patrick.
So, yeah.
Always
looks
support.
like Malik Fofana, most likely by the time the window's shut, will be a Roma player. It depends on how much they're giving to us. It's unfortunate, but because we didn't make the Champions League, this is one of the consequences. We now have to sell some players. Unfortunately, it's going to probably be, according to L'Equipe, rumors is going to be Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Tagliafico's looking at it, Pavel Sulch, Malik Fofana, and Tanner Tessman. So those are the 5 that they're looking at to see if they can get sold.
Tyler Morton, why didn't you call City? Please bail out Lyon by Tyler Morton. Do it.
This is the consequences of not getting Champions League, and this is why I have to go back to this. The last 2 games last season, losing to Lens at home and losing to Toulouse. Had we have won at Toulouse, we would have been in Champions League, and Lille would be the one that would be in the qualifications. That's the difference. Those kind of moments. So I'm done with that. I think we should probably briefly just talk about, if you want, the Rennes PSG game, because let me tell you, that shit was.
Well, we'll elaborate on it.
That was so good.
Well, the first game of the day, Angers was hosting Lille, and Lille won 2-0. Lille have lost a significant member of their team because we got official confirmation. Ayoub Bouadi has moved away from Lille, so that will affect our predictions probably for the whole season. I think we kind of lowballed them anyway because we assumed it would go through, but it was confirmed. Bouadi did not play in the game. He said his goodbyes. He's now a Man City player. Yay!
And it's almost 100 mil for Lille, so that really helps them big time. That if they need to go out and get a forward, because right now they're relying on a close to
Giroud. Giroud did score a goal in the game, but he's not going to. He can't
be
rely
the
on
main
that
person. So they're looking at Zian Fleming.
Yeah, to lose last season. We're going to talk about Fonseca. Don't worry. Oh boy. Steve is pissed off about Roma. Well, you know that Kone might leave Roma, but that's another stream. We'll have to do an Italian. We'll have to do a Serie A check-in with Joey and Steve and whoever else likes Serie A people.
I watched
maybe Judge Mo. Doubt it.
David Ancelotti actually looked really good, but again, it's Angers. It's like they did a very good job with what they had. Now that they have the 100 million, it depends on what they're going to get to help replenish what they need to get for players to come in and help that squad out, to be able to compete in Champions League and do well in the league, to be able to keep up with Europe.
It might have come too late in the window for them.
One, but we'll see what the other ones are. So great for them, great for Lille, good business, because if I'm not mistaken, until Bradley Barcola gets sold to Liverpool, it's the highest transfer out in Ligue history.
Oh, out of Liga. I was about to say, I was like, the Mbappe one has to be the highest one of all time, because that was 100.
No. Like, if you're like, if that was
going from Liga, the money
out,
coming into Liga out from outside of Liga. True.
Because it's Monaco to PSG was in the same league, so that doesn't really count. I'm talking about from going from Liga out is the it's the highest one until when Bradley Barcola comes through.
Bradley Barcola. We can discuss that a little bit too. Bradley Barcola did get that got. I think it got a here we go, but he is leaving PSG and he's joining Liverpool. 130 million, I believe, is the fee. That is a bigger fee. The Buwadi fee is 100 million euros, and I believe the Barcola is 130 million pounds. Could be incorrect about that, but the Ayub Buwadi fee, I think it is a world record for a teenager.
I think so by a little bit, because the one before it was Lenny Euro, which also happened to be from Lille.
Lille to Manchester United. That was a big fee.
They know how to sell.
A good carrier.
That is the thing. They know how to sell. They know how to sell very well.
Oh, Lille might also sell Fernando Pardet. Then they're not going to have a squad for the Champions League. They'll probably just go out in the group phase.
The league phase. Well, if they get to the playoff rounds, that to them is successful, because they still get all that TV cash.
They get some money for that.
They get some money.
They also have Ngame. He's coming back in October.
Yeah. Let's put it this way.
Okay, 140 million euro bonus for Barcola. Wow.
Yeah. So, and keep in mind, because Lyon was part of their academy, I think we get like 4 or 5% of that. So we get about 5 million euros without having lifting a finger. So great business of doing absolutely nothing on that. So, but speaking of which, the team that he plays for, PSG Rennes, we were both on that game with Steve, and let me tell you,
there's one game. Let's do 5 seconds to talk about Lav and Monaco. Not a great game. Monaco won 1-0. No Detorbe. Eric Dyer goal. Boom. That's it. Nobody cares. Okay. And what I think was one of the most fun games is, well, you got to just say something about it. But
it was Felipe Luis's first league game, and he won. When they scored, because Eric Dyer scored that goal like super early, and I was like, all right, guys, let's cook a few goals. I want to see Detorbe, because that was the whole reason I'm watching it. Because remember, Detorbe is on loan. I erroneously said earlier on Troyes, I was talking about Detorbe in the Troyes game, and I'm like, I just realized, wow, I'm hoeing on that one. So ignore that from 10 minutes ago or whatever. But no, Detorbe is on loan to Monaco, did not play on Sunday. And, but yeah, anyways, that's my whole vested interest in Monaco this year. Balogun is still on their team. That could be, if they sell them before the break, the window closes, that could be a big chunk of change. True.
But yeah, one of the games of the week. Probably, even though it was a draw, 2-2 draw, Rennes hosting PSG. That game was fun.
That was très magnifique.
That was motherfucking Ligue 1 for you right there.
That was amazing. Rennes were off to a flying start.
Rennes were fantastic. Charlie Creswell is the highlight name I remember.
Yes, because he was on loan for a purchase to buy from Toulouse, which I believe if you get him in, it's an obligation to buy for 20 million euros, I believe. And he looked
Camargo got linked to Liverpool.
Yeah, so he looked good. Eric, I think I can't even I can't even think of his name right now. The striker for Rennes that was there, I can't even think of his name right now. Hold on, Esteban Lepal. Great player, and obviously he's been rumored out to to many places, and I think City was linked with him at one point too, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
There was a brief linkage, but I don't think it went anywhere.
I mean, he would be something that would be incredible for you guys too, but let's face it, better than Foden. But anyways, but it was great.
Yeah, our midfield's getting pretty packed. So,
but to be honest with you,
Lapaul's the one we got linked to.
Yeah, Esteban. Oh, he's a forward. Sorry.
Yeah, he's more of he was linked to be a backup striker, but the problem is you can't really have a backup striker when it's Erling Haaland because you're never going to play, and you'll never play, so you'll be out of form when you do play, and then everyone will say you're crap. So
yeah, true.
It's a problem. We would need somebody like a Giroud to come back up Haaland because he won't care if he doesn't play.
That
he's been there and he's done that. He's already won a Champions League.
That or Youth Academy product, who knows for you guys. But Esteban Lapaul, fucking amazing. Szymanski also looked good in midfield with Valier Rongier and Cresswell. That spine with
Cresswell was fantastic.
Rongier, Szymanski, and Lapaul. You guys, let me tell you, this Rennes team, if they can go toe-to-toe with PSG, last second, by the way, to have it at Roazhon Park because PSG had problems with their pitch, and to play like that against the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Desiree Doué, João Neves, Zaire Emery, Vitinha, Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Hernandez, and Russian Steve,
the keeper.
Yeah, and to play like that,
he's like, don't talk to me about me.
So that was a great game. Obviously, the players on the pitch didn't do so well. They were taken aback. They're like, what the fuck? And so goes on Ferran Torres for Dembele at halftime.
Yeah, Ferran Torres came off the bench and won the
and decided, you know what?
Made the difference, yeah.
I scored the goal in Spain. Let me show you what I'm fucking worth. And scores 2 goals for them to tie it up. So
a lot of it, yeah. Well, they made a bunch of halftime subs. Shout out Spotkiss to the halftime subs. Yeah, and he yanked Dembele and he yanked Kvaratskhelia off pretty early, and because he was like, "You guys are being hoes. You're being lazy." And he put the subs on, and then he puts Ferran Torres on. I don't remember if it was at halftime or not, but Ferran Torres came on and was like, "I'm here. I'm coming to win a Champions League. I just won a World Cup. I'm here to sit on the bench, and I'll come off the bench and I'll do that. And I'm here to collect the PSG winners medal."
I think it's Ferran Torres and Mika Goetz from Ajax. Both.
Yeah, he came on too.
So, and then Akliouche, a former Monaco player, came in the 60th minute along with Fabio Ruiz. And then Beraldo came
seismically. Yeah, well, let's get seismically on. He wants to come on.
Yeah, sure.
You don't have to come on camera. I'll post the link in the chat because I don't think, but that's only for seismically. Well, there's no one else in the chat really. So if you want to come on, just hop on. And if you don't want to put yourself on camera, that's fine. We won't make you do that. But if you want to, please do. But no
we can always have we can always have a I Love Ligue podcast group chat in the future if you want to too as well. So
we could, yeah. So hop on.
But yeah.
Hop on seismically. We'd love to have you.
But yeah, a great game, and now Europe.
Bienvenue.
Hello.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. How are you doing?
It's good to meet you guys. I'm doing well. I'm doing the dishes, actually. Listening to you guys.
And you're ready to be breaking plates when we're going to be talking about Fenerbahce versus Lyon?
Oh, God.
Don't get me started, man.
About that?
It's horrible. It's horrible. I think, I don't know, because of the dire financial situation that we're going through right now, it might be even worse than the Man United loss last year or the year before, which was terrible, too. But
against Manchester United, yeah, that was bad.
Oh, the Ryan Cherky game. I still want him to do that at. I need him to do that at Old Trafford.
I still, to this day, believe that was not a warranted second yellow for Tolisso.
No,
I think
it wasn't.
A bunch of bullshit. But that's
we all know that it's Old Trafford. What are you gonna go figure?
So for those that don't know or that live in another planet or lived under a rock. First leg, we were drawing 1-1 in Istanbul. Great result, by the way, to go to Istanbul and get like that, to make it a shootout at home. First half, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Abner, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles is I'm going to have the bone to pick first. Both goals came on that end. Couldn't fucking take down on the left-hand side. Couldn't even defend for that second part of that goal. What is he thinking? He couldn't even do anything. And Abner didn't even mark his man on that. So the left back and the right back, to me, that first half was atrocious.
No, it's terrible.
Once the right back that we got from Elon came in, we actually looked pretty decent and actually got ourselves to go forward and be able to do something. Obviously, Malik Fofana with a great goal, by the way. Great goal. But those two goals being offside or overturned by VAR, it was just wasn't
that was
enough.
so annoying.
Also, let's be honest. I mean, outside of these two goal scoring opportunities they had, I mean, I don't think they were that threatening. They didn't do because they're not that good of a team. They have like older dudes can't really run anymore, and it's just that's so sad that we just failed to go through it and stand. But you know, we all know the reason why. It's that Fonseca always likes to play it safe. He did the same against Slavia Prague or whatever Prague, the Czech team, where he played 5 in the back, and he wanted to play defensively for some reason. And I mean, we lost the game against that team that
and
obviously
had to bail it out in the second leg.
Yeah, and this time around because the
did
first
well in the
game,
first leg, but didn't do well in the second leg. Like
but because I don't know why, but they didn't really attack on the left side. Maitland-Niles didn't really have to do much, so of course he was okay. I don't think he did anything during that game
over Abner.
Yeah,
I was like, why do you need a goal? We didn't Tagliafico? What are we doing?
But Abner, it's weird because I mean their only threat pretty much is Greenwood, and Abner is decent going forward. I remember against PSG last season, he almost scored a bicycle kick in the box, but it's decent. Even his crosses were terrible. So the problem is that defensively, he's always been a liability. So you need your winger to come back to track back, your midfielder to kind of help and just tag team Greenwood. Otherwise, it's too much space. And he just wanted to play it safe because he's been using the same starting 11 for a while now, and he wants those players.
And he rested people for Toulouse, knowing full well that if he were to fail on Toulouse, everything would have mattered on Wednesday. But because he played well on Toulouse, we were expecting, okay, everyone's well rested. You got your rest that you needed. Yeah, LFP didn't cancel the game or postpone the game. You have everyone rested. They were well up and ready, and they still didn't fucking do it. I would have rather taken. My other thing was Tanner Tessman. He was a great game on the first leg and very quiet on the second leg.
It wasn't the worst, though, I would say. I think Tolisso was a big disappointment.
Yeah,
to me.
I agree too. But Tanner Tessman.
Tessman was hoeing. Shocking.
He picks and chooses his games that he plays. Mm-hmm. And I think Openda, we got something well with him. Yeah, he's on loan, but he did something. He tried to make it work. He tried to be in the right places.
He was good.
His stats weren't that great.
Good too. It's just they kept being offside.
Yeah, it was offside, and also sometimes misplaced some passes where he didn't control the ball right. He wasn't as good, I'd say, on the first leg.
That was annoying.
But Budash, I think, was amazing, and Nuama he was trying a lot and sometimes doing something decent, but I think didn't seem ready and fit. He wasn't like he was 2 years ago before he got injured. He was like, he actually started to gain some momentum and was really good. And now after Nuama, it's not there yet.
I saw the reports of after the game and how everyone was heckling Guendouzi, I call him Bob. But he has every right to, because according to his press conference, they were insulting his family, his mother, and everything in that. And that crosses the line for me. But what also is grinding my gears is Paulo Fonseca and his post-match reaction, how he thinks he's a shitty coach. But also, if I'm not mistaken, it's his goalkeeping coach who did an Eric Cantona and decided to do a kung fu kick on Guendouzi to start a big fucking fight.
Yeah.
What for? What for? So now he's going to potentially get a couple games disciplined by the club. And on top of that, going to be probably 3 to 5 matches by UEFA for doing something like that. Why the fuck would you do that? That's another.
The Genduzi is just a horrible player, to be honest.
He
It's like
is a horrible player.
Yeah, and
I
don't
get
know.
that former Marseille player, along with the shithole rapist, allegedly Greenwood. But my God, why do you need to?
I don't even say his name.
Do it in the tunnel. Do it somewhere where no one can see it. Everyone saw that. Like, what would you think?
No, it's weird. I don't know how.
I hope he gets suspended.
Yeah, I think Genduzi would definitely get something.
Genduzi should definitely get suspended for what he did. At least one game, not two.
He probably won't.
And he's one of the better players of Fenerbahce.
But Guendouzi will probably get a suspension, maybe one, maybe two. But the other one has no excuse. You're a grown-ass fucking adult. Yeah. You're a fucking coach. This is how you're going to act towards the players that are out on the pitch? By coming someone? Really? That's the kind of thing you want to do? No. It's just like how Fonseca badmouthed the referee and got 9 months of suspension.
Yeah. Although it was terrible for Fonseca. I think it was a little harsh, the 9 month ban.
Very harsh, but still.
Because no one else got that type of kind of action taken up on them or any other coach. So I would say that I don't know how truthful Genduzi is. I think he's he maybe one guy insulted his mom. I don't know if the whole stadium was chanting about his mom because there's no proof of that. I have a hard time believing a dude like that. So I think they were insulting him, but I don't know about his mom, his whole family. I don't know.
He was from Marseille and played for Marseille.
Yeah.
And we're rivals with them. Of course we're going to talk shit. It's as if
Oh, no. Get out of here. Get out of here. Fuck that guy. Steve, you can't say that after yesterday.
We're hating on the guy. Last time I checked, your Rangers got out to a Czech team in the Conference League. So yeah, and how's your Newcastle?
Hold that, Steve.
So let me just hear about that. All right then. So that sideshow Bob can definitely spin a little PR, but in the end, we fucked up. We screwed ourselves over for at least 30 million euros. Now we have to lose possibly Tagliafico, Sulch, Tessman, Fofana.
We got seismically.
It's like a couple of them just to make ends meet, and that doesn't mean those coming in as well. You know what I mean? So,
we maybe can
like this. I have to put a positive spin to something. You look at the Europa League, and I have it in front of me. I hope I do. It's Benfica.
Oh, I have them. I have the Europa League up.
And based off of what I'm seeing, this year's English teams are not the strongest. I'm saying that in quotes because it's Bournemouth, who never played in Europe.
Bournemouth, Crystal Palace,
Conference League, and Sunderland.
Yeah. None of them know what they're doing.
And they're not in pot one. So the teams that I'm thinking that we might be a direct challenge are Leverkusen, Benfica, Milan, and Juventus.
AC Milan, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I think Leverkusen's going to have a really good one.
And
Rennes could make a deep favorite. Rennes and Real Sociedad are the ones that kind of stick out for me.
Yeah, we're in that we're contenders, but
it's a dusty Juventus. So,
but that's not going to happen because we've seen that.
Yeah, he was
same scenario before with Fonseca, and we do well initially, and then the player gets overtired, and also I don't know, he's not good in the locker room, just riling them up and just telling them that they had to crush it. And then eventually we just collapsed like Celta Vigo last season. I mean, this was insane. Celta Vigo had absolutely destroyed them. I don't even remember the team that destroyed them. Freiburg or something.
Freiburg. The following round.
And so they weren't that good, but we made them look amazing. And I do think we have a decent team, especially with Moreira on the left. I mean, he was absolutely amazing with Hendrik and everything. So
this is where I'm like, I miss Hendrik.
And so I think the same thing is going to happen. We don't have the especially if multiple players leave. I don't think we have the team to play on all three fronts, playing the Cup, the League, and the Europa League.
The Cup won't factor in until probably December, so we can have some wiggle room early on. But I see your point when it's saying when the time comes through in the second half of the season, when the business end.
This is what we did last time. We tried to play them all, but we didn't have enough players, reliable players, to play all these competitions. English teams, they have 45 players. so they can rotate in all competition. And
I don't know if these English teams that you're mentioning have 45 players. Crystal Palace has definitely been getting stripped. They put that Mateta's linked out. There is a strong possibility Adam Wharton could go.
Yeah, Pierre Sage actually is
But they are Palace are linked to some midfielders, so that is
right. Probably some Ligue 1 midfielders.
They're going to definitely raid Ligue 1. Of course they're going to.
And Sunderland and Crystal Palace.
They're trying to get Robert Clivert, and I'm like, go right ahead. We got a great player from Estoril coming in who did a pretty good job against Toulouse, by mind.
Yeah,
and he has played. And I'm not going to knock on wood on this one. He played every game for Estoril and never got injured or suspended. That's a first in the Portuguese league. It has never happened before. So he has a good track record of being consistent. So with
famous last words.
But with what
I've seen that too many times in the city where I'm like,
oh, just say, I think you just bring that back up again. What Steve said.
This?
Nope, the other one before about Bayer Leverkusen. Yes, we don't have the money to sack him. According to reports, we don't have money to sack him, and we don't have money to extend him. So right now, this is the last season for Fonseca. So we have to put up with it for the time being until we can muster up some money to sack him if we ever have to do it in this case this year. But unfortunately, we don't have the money, the feasibility to sack the coach itself and his coaching staff.
The irony is you would have if you'd gotten to the Champions League.
So
I do think I don't know, strangely positive about the future. I do think because of the academy players I'm seeing now, I think Steve Congo has a decent future. I think Budash he's not an academy player for me, but he's a 19-year-old, and he seems really, really good. And so even though we have no money, we're really broke, we can always seem to find crazy talents. I think Bacher, it's only his first game, but he didn't look like a 4 million player. He looked like.
I mean, keep in mind, remember those years at Remy Gard? I still love the guy. Still love the guy, the last coach that won us a title and a trophy of the Champion. He had to rely on the academy while our stadium was being built. So we had very little money. And we relied on Lacazette at the time. Tolisso,
oh my God, Lacazette.
Jordan Ferry, Anthony Lowe. I can't even think of anything else right now. But there's those right now, Nabil Fekir. Like those kind of players. At the time, Gomes. But like those kind of players, we've done it before. We can do it again.
Well, pre-injury Fekir was something else.
Fine.
Steve brings up a good point here. You don't have the money to sack someone until shit hits a fan, and then you need to sack him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever going to be that bad. We'll sack it because the standards are so low. I mean, literally.
The standard is basically get us top 3 in the Champions League, at minimum 3rd. So that way we don't ever have to go through a qualification phase. No, we can guarantee that money.
But he'll never get that. But
didn't the qualification make you some money? Because you get some.
Well, I think we got around close to 9 million euros already from the qualification phase.
Yeah, because I mean that's seats in the stadium. That's TV money.
Yeah,
not a lot. I mean, it's not like Champions League money, but it is something.
What's interesting too is that the money is split between countries, so they have the amount of money is for qualification or for the TV rights, it's per country. And so if one of your team doesn't qualify for the playoffs, then it's split between this, like France, for example, there's 3 teams left instead of 4. So each team gets more money. So they were rooting against us because they would get more money. I mean, PSG doesn't care, but they don't care. But Rennes and Lens
get some more money as well.
They get more money because we didn't qualify. Yeah,
and
that's hell.
Can we talk a little bit about them? Because let's face it, the Champions League draw came through today. And let's talk because I think I'm not sure average coefficient. I think the higher the level, the tougher it is. The lower it is, the better. Lille got the short end of the stick. And lo and behold, PSG got the easier of the ends.
Oh, shocking.
Shocking.
I don't know how that shit works because my team got fucking shafted, but
yeah.
But we do play 2 Ligue 1 teams, so that's relevant to this podcast.
So PSG got to play Barca, City, Roma, Villa, Galatasaray, Villarreal, Slovan, and Como. Lille have to play Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Betis, Roma, Galatasaray, Bodo Glimt, Slovan Bratislava, and Stuttgart. Meanwhile, Lens gets Man City, Liverpool, Sporting, Club Brugge, Bodo Glimt, Leipzig, Como, and Slavia Prague.
They got a better draw than City did. That fucking pisses me off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
also, what helps Lens is the City game is at Lens. It's not at the Etihad.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't be too worried.
Yes, multi-billionaire guy owns Balenciaga. Okay.
But I don't think
You think they got a tough draw? That didn't sound that bad to me.
I think
the
Lens
one didn't sound that bad.
I think they can aim for the top 24. I think it's reasonable. I mean, Preston did it, and they didn't have particularly good draws. So
I think
Lens is out.
And Lille, I think going to the playoff round is a success.
Yeah. If they can qualify for the playoff, for sure. But I don't think
playoff things extra things.
I don't think was it Lens that won against Arsenal?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was. It was like a 1-0 or something. Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to French teams and the shining the brightest in Champions League, they always step up for most of the part. So we'll have to take it that way. But
the game being in Lens will help. The PSG game versus City is at the Etihad, and they don't have a schedule out yet, but they listed it as the first game. But that they haven't actually done the schedule yet.
Yeah,
no, I think it's coming out this weekend. So
I think PSG. I think I'm worried about two reasons for PSG. I don't really care about, but I'm worried if I was a PSG fan. If it's that the midfield, I don't think it needs to be something new to be renewed a bit, or can you back up because they have bought backups in the attack? I mean, with the Götze and the Ferran, etc.
You're saying the depth of midfield for PSG is a
depth for the midfield, but also it's not just the depth; it's the profile. I think they're missing Fabian Ruiz. I think is currently the best midfielder right now because Vitinha and João Neves was injured, but Vitinha also hasn't been playing very well in 2026, to be honest. João Neves has been playing pretty decently, but has slowed down at the end of the season. And
he's played so much,
and
they can use like a backup 6'8".
It's a backup 6 in the Vitinha role, so also going forward a lot.
Yeah.
And
that's a hard role to replicate.
A more
whenever Rodri messed for City, we had trouble. Yeah. So same with them. Certain profiles you just can't replace.
Very good on the ball that provides some good passing, long range passing, like Fabian Ruiz, who's to me one of the best players.
Well, he's not,
best midfielder in the world.
Claiming he's gonna leave. He's not gonna leave. He signed a contract.
Oh, I think he'll leave next year. I think he'll leave next year. I think he'll leave. He wants to go back to Spain.
Yeah, he'll probably. Yeah, but I could see him doing. He'll probably stick around for one more Champions League run.
Yeah, if they win, I'm sure.
And then they'll call that a swan song for sure.
And knowing this week, also congrats to Monaco for to beating the Polish side 7-1, making it to the Conference League group stage. That one, let's face it. Of course, the Scottish teams, Rangers are out, so the Scottish representation is Hearts, while the English is Brighton. But you also have Atalanta and also, I believe, hold on, give me a second.
I don't have the conference pulled up. I
have it. I can get it for you real quick. Hold on. So you have for Spain, representing Spain is Getafe. You have Braga, you have Monaco, Freiburg, Brighton, Hearts. And did I say Atalanta already? Those are the ones from just talk about Conference League just for the moment. Monaco have a decent shot. Obviously, Brighton have the money, but can they go far? That's the question. Most likely, yes. You have Ajax there. That obviously they're very European contenders, European pedigree. There we go. You have Monaco. Used to go to a final back in 2004. Yes, it's been 22 years, but they can have a shot there too. Getafe, I don't think a Spanish team is going to do. Getafe can be like a so-and-so, but for me, it's Brighton, Monaco. There's Freiburg can make a deep run. Atalanta with if they can do it well.
Atalanta,
they can do
that's a weird one.
So
what about this comment? Kamara from Monaco is being linked to Chelsea, and I don't like this. I don't like Monaco getting weaker, but I don't want Chelsea to get stronger. So I don't like this link at all.
A lot of French teams have a very good system on finding good, true talent. So I can trust them that they can go out and get a decent player for a decent quality player for a decent amount.
When City raided Monaco, we got Bernardo Silva from them, and he'd be turned into a club legend.
And then Liverpool got Fabinho, and they
I'll wait for Ed to stop fainting while I actually complimented Bernardo Silva.
So
he's like, I left, I didn't even hear it. No.
So and Monaco can get the players. It's in Monaco and where they're located. Yeah, they're not playing in Champions League, but they're playing in Europe, and they're playing in a principality that's tax haven. So that's a win-win for them. And Ligue is a decent league to be a part of. So
and also Monaco they don't have the same rules in terms of taxation. So I don't think the players, because usually
that matters to some people,
Yeah,
keeping some taxes, that's some money for themselves,
because they can give much higher salaries than other Ligue 1 teams.
So I'm just curious.
It does not apply to Americans though, because we tax on citizenship, not on residency.
Yeah. So, and one last thing before we're done with the European trip, who do you want as part of the league phase for Lyon? Because I think out of the first pot, I think I want I think I just want AZ Alkmaar and Olympiacos. I don't want anyone else. Pot 2, give us, I don't know, Victoria Pleasin and Ferencváros. I don't know. So or Dinamo
Okay, this update. I would try to. I have the teams listed in front of me. I don't have the pots.
They can put it up.
I would try to avoid Real Sociedad if you can. I would not.
So basically, pot 1, we have to hope and pray it's AZ Alkmaar.
Well, they're gonna have some money real soon. They're gonna have a shit ton of money real soon. So Monaco, raise the price to 80. Come on.
Yeah. So,
I think Milan is a big threat. I think that.
I would not. Yeah, AC Milan. I feel like this is where they could kind of stop Helen.
I would not want to play Leverkusen, Benfica, Juve, or Milan or Sociedad in pot.
I would not want to play. I would not want to play Sociedad.
No. Sociedad crap. Sociedad. I've seen them play multiple times in preseason and against who were they playing? Real Madrid. And no, they're not that good. Even
got slapped today.
And I think Benfica is always a threat. The Juve, I have no idea.
Oh, wait, I didn't even look. Okay, so they're in Europa. Okay, sorry, I just refreshed my page and I'm like, oh, all these teams are in now.
I think Juve can be. I don't know. I think Juve is not. They didn't get great players.
In a transition, so it's probably like
Juve or Hohen. Yeah, this might be a good time to play them. Oh yeah, AC Milan of Amarin. Steve, hold that for the Rangers. Hold that.
Yeah.
But I think
Ed, we don't want Camara to go to Chelsea. We'll just say that.
We'll have to see. Obviously, next week we'll talk about how the Champions League are. But for me, I just want to avoid those big 5. But Leverkusen, Benfica, Juve, Milan, Sociedad.
I'd say Leverkusen
have to be though. I do not want to play them right now. I wouldn't mind like a Torrance or Monia, something different. Or Pledge, I was like, okay. But I'm ready for it. It's going to be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Out in Europe. We'll figure out the European Conference League. So, but yeah, on to the next thing because we got some match games that are going to be quite juicy. And next weekend. And tomorrow is the Europa League and the Europa Conference League draw for those interested. So we'll report on that probably in our next podcast. So whatever that is. I just had it. I have next week's Ligue 1. Don't worry. Next week's Ligue 1, I have it up for y'all. So which games we want to talk about? Obviously, Lille PSG. It's a true test.
That's going to be a big game.
From that Friday. Strasbourg Lens. Let's see how Strasbourg do. Not looking good for Strasbourg, bruv. I'm just gonna say that.
I do think Strasbourg.
Angers and Angers are playing as well.
I think Strasbourg they always renew because it's the Chelsea.
Angers is hosting Angers.
Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just talking over you. My bad.
No. I think Strasbourg they got they renew the entire squad every summer. He has the blue Komodo, but I do think they got some decent new player, and also they had a lot of injuries because their Panicelli guy is incredible, and they still have him. So
Yeah, he's still out.
Yeah, but he eventually come back.
ACL, so he's still out, unfortunately.
I think he'll eventually come back, and I think by the end of the year, I think they'll become a pretty good team, to be honest.
Yeah, he tore it, I think, in like January or February. So he should be back probably, I would imagine, like maybe November, December-ish. He should be coming back. And depending on what their attack looks like, he would be a massive boost. Because he was cooking on smoke last year.
Yeah, it was incredible.
He was so good. And I was like, fuck, Chelsea are going to buy him. And then he got injured. Yeah,
I think he was better than Enrique, who actually went to Chelsea. He's probably not even going to play there. I know he's going to end up probably in loan somewhere.
It's always sad when Strasbourg have good players because you just know that they're all going to go to Chelsea.
Yeah.
If it's Leon and Sunderland, oh boy, yeah, you might get a 10 bandwagon fan for a bit. Thoughts on Fernandez Pardo? He's linked away. I don't know if they'll sell him though. Because
I've watched a lot of Lille games, and I can tell you that, and I know some Lille fans, and they don't like him at all. The only reason he's valued so much is the same way English clubs can value. Was this the latest one? The Lap for like 50 million? Oh no, I don't remember. 60 million.
Running for 50 million pounds.
Because Chelsea don't need to sell, and he's supposedly prime proven, and so. Some teams are desperate. They need a striker. They want some kind of, specification, including prem proven. Has been spending some time in the prem.
And so Ian Fleming from Burnley as their main backup. Well, not main backup. The main person they're looking at. And
Lille just sold 100 million worth of play, even more than that because they sold other players. So they don't really need money right now. So they can. And he's contract under a few years still, so they don't need to sell him, so they can put up because he doesn't worth any. I think he's a 20 million euro, player. Definitely not Gordon. No, Fernandez Pardo.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a 20 million euro player.
This time, I think he had a decent World Cup, but the thing is very fast. That's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about him though.
His IQ in the final third is just dog shit. I mean, sometimes dribbling also is not that great. So he's mostly Mbappe style, taking on his man through pace, not really through dribbling like Yamal. And also his decision making, his crosses, his passes, his shooting is just terrible. Yeah. So and I don't know why he decided to go against because he's refused to train with Lille now. So
he's trying to push his way out so he can get him out.
I don't like all these players. Alvarez doing that. All these players starting it's been a year somewhere and now they're like I don't like. I think it's probably the agents.
Yeah, it's crazy how the players have so much power now.
Exactly. I mean, at the same time, when you think about that, I mean, when you're out of job, you can leave your job.
True, but if you sign like a 6-year contract though, like
they
still have from what is it? What?
I don't know.
Is that your score prediction, 10?
So, I think that game is going to be interesting. Strasbourg and Auxerre, Angers. We'll see how that goes. Brest, Toulouse. Lyon,
Toulouse. Just one thing about Toulouse is he has a new midfielder called Jorgensen. He's incredible. Yeah. This guy, he's going to become huge. I'm telling you, he's incredible. I think he played really well. Remember when he dribbled the whole defense?
Oh yeah.
And he shot and unfortunately missed.
I think he purchased them for what, 6 million, like 6.
I think 10 or 12 million. Yeah, but it's from the Danish league. But everyone in Denmark and the scouts were saying
€12 for him could be a good steal.
Steal. I think he's going to worth quadruple that at the end of the year, unless Toulouse is totally crumble and falls apart for some reason.
That's dead. Yeah.
But I think he's going to be very good.
We also, with the Toulouse game, we have Lyon Le Havre, Lorient 3, which is
DFG watch.
Paris.
I'll probably be watching that on the phone, the Tick Sport. Well, I'm sure we have a watch along scheduled. We must have a watch along for Lyon scheduled.
We probably do. Or
it'll be we have a watch along scheduled, and we will be commenting on Lyon.
Okay, and then we have Rennes Le Mans, and then of course the pinnacle of the night, Monaco versus Marseille. True test of Marseille. And hopefully we'll see a good like result from Monaco. Because let's be honest.
Yeah, because
Marseille in a dire situation. I think it's even worse than Lyon because they're essentially in the same financial situation where they have like 100 million, 200 million debt plus, so they have to sell, and they have the NCG and the UEFA telling them to they have to kind of cut down the salaries and their transfer fees are capped to a certain amount, so they can't really get new players. They have to sell. And they have to sell like Chow.
They have to get the DNCG green light. And
when
many of the players don't want to leave.
Yeah.
They like their hefty salaries.
No, but that's what it is. Højbjerg, who was his first player before, he refused to go to Newcastle for some reason, and he came back to Marseille. But he would have significantly improved the financial situation in Marseille because his salary he has the highest salary at Marseille. And he refused to leave. And the same from Aguerd, who's a defender from Morocco, who's pretty good, but he's always injured. And he wanted to go to Real Sociedad. Last minute, the player's decision to return. So now they have these two players back. They're decent players, but just the salary is too high. Because
I think it's probably because of the fact that they didn't want to get a salary cut. That's pretty much what it is. They don't want to get a salary cut.
Newcastle, they have the oil money. Yeah, I can't believe that they won't give him. It's just because he would be a bench player. He'd be a guy who'd play 5 minutes here and there or cup games, and he wants to be the main guy at Marseille. I guess and also, life in Marseille versus life in Newcastle. It's probably a lot better.
No offense, Steve. He does have a point there. But
I think if they lose, they're now at risk of losing by Chow, he's been incredible as of like the last few months. And they could lose Guiri, who's the other 9, not very good to be honest, but he has some value. And he could lose Timber, who's actually very decent midfield.
Yeah, Timber is linked away.
Team is up for sale.
And then they can't get new players in, so they lose all the good players, like a little bit like we went through at Lyon. But in our case, they started the turnaround in the old team where they sold all the players, and the new team were coming in with Moreira, Soul, very early on. So they have plenty of time to negotiate transfer prices and find the right profiles. They don't have any time. They spend their whole time trying to sell players. So I see a dark, it depends what's going to happen because they haven't been sold yet. But if they sell all these players, they don't get new players in, they could battle relegation at the end of this because they really have no option. They have no striker if they lose those players. They have no wingers because they have Harit on the right. It's terrible. They have no one on the left, and they have no one up front. So they have no attackers. No,
and if I'm not mistaken, quote me if I'm wrong, if a certain player, I think it's Pichel, don't call me out for telling the right player, isn't Bruno Genesio going to walk? He can't deal with this kind of situation. I don't blame him because he's not.
Because they like to.
He wasn't giving guarantees, and now everything's just making things worse. He can't get any of his players in, and he has very little to work with.
It's a very strange situation because I don't understand why they promised him, because they probably told him we'll just have to sell one player or two, and they sold Greenwood early on for a ridiculously small fee to Fenerbahce.
Well, he's got the baggage. That kind of
but Turkish teams don't really care about that. And
the same Fenerbahce
the Turkish teams also don't have a lot of cash
and have to pay a fee to UEFA for not obligating to their financial obligations.
But they sold him too early. They sold him too early. I guess they were worried that because Fenerbahce wanted Greenwood for the qualifying rounds for the UCL.
Yeah.
And they were right because he scored the goal over there on Fenerbahce in Turkey. I guess that's the reason why they qualified. But so they sold him, I think, pretty cheap, too early. And then they thought they would get more money, I think, and not have to sell the players, but they ended up not having Højbjerg to leave and Aguerd. And so they end up with all these older players that no one wants, that have high salaries, and now they have to sell what's remaining. And Bruno Genesio probably thought that he would get something to work with. So I think it's possible that he would walk up.
And if he leaves and he walks, it's going to be, as I said to last week about Marseille, once it's chaos, they always have chaos at least some part of the season. And when it's chaos, it's complete chaos. So this might be their chaos is coming early in the season. Very
People are
similar
still
to
in
when
jail.
Marcelo Bielsa, after one game, decided to quit, and then
Yeah.
all hell breaks loose.
Yeah,
So this might just
people
get and put it in on steroids.
entered the training grounds and started burning stuff, and so people are still in jail for that. It's called the commandery, whatever riot, something. So the supporters actually went in the training facilities and just kind of started breaking everything.
Yeah.
So I think it could be bad.
Lovely.
And Monaco is possibly.
Welcome to Ligue. But
Yeah,
But Monaco might be
I
losing.
remember the Ultras went to fucking Neymar's house and told him to get out.
Yeah.
PSG
they don't fuck
Ultras.
around.
They went to fucking Messi's house too. I'm like, what?
But the PSG Ultras are the kind of chill ones. I think the Marseille one are kind of next level. I think they're a little crazy. And the Lyon ones are pretty bad times, to be honest.
Like the Liga, but
yeah.
But yeah,
but
there's more
but
to it.
the Monaco, just one word on Monaco. It's just that Monaco might lose Camara and might lose Balogun, although Balogun doesn't play at all.
Balogun could go. He's been linked away.
But if they lose Camara, I think Camara is just exceptional player, and I think they lose some density in the midfield that I don't think they can replace at all. I don't really know who we're going to bring in. I think they have some decent new players. Nazinho, I think, has been playing okay. They have this new guy, Paris. What's his name? Paris something. Paris, whatever. And he's pretty, as an attacker, he's pretty good. But they're still very weak defensively, to be honest. They allow for too many scoring opportunities. I mean, in very clear scoring opportunities. So I think it's going to be a mayhem this game because both teams are just not there yet. Yeah,
they're not the finished product. So, but we're going to be looking forward to it. And obviously, check out the channel here, like and subscribe, people. I believe this is the end of the podcast for tonight's episode. Kelsey,
we're going to wrap it up here.
Anything else to say about the Liga, the week of Liga? Oh, before we do, there is one thing. Fuck Gerard Lopez. He destroyed Bordeaux, a very historic club, is now on the brink of bankruptcy, and they can go another club that he fucked over. So prayers to their fans.
So now they're in a regional in 4th division.
Historic club, and hopefully they can do something about it and get him out and ban him for life.
But I think Strasbourg went through the same thing, where I don't know if it's as bad in terms of collapse, and also they don't have the same pedigree than Bordeaux has, but I think they went down to the 4th division, like Bordeaux is right now. They're national one. But they could. Oh no, maybe they're they're the 6th division. They're right.
Appeal got denied, so now they're going to the 6th tier of French football.
Oh yeah,
going to
that's gonna be rough.
So the likelihood of them being able to keep the finances going is going to be. They might have to do bankruptcy, unfortunately, and it's such a sad story club. A sad story with a very historic club. And I give their prayers to the Bordeaux fans because they've been through it in hell and back with that guy. And he deserves what he gets, which is hell. I feel for them, and hopefully things turn out well for them, and hopefully. So, yeah. Sorry to end it on a negative note, but that's life in Ligue 1 at the moment. French football.
C'est la vie. Malheureusement. But anyways, I'm doing the Man City game live tomorrow on the main channel, but I'll probably have Lille and PSG on my phone. So I won't be paying close attention, but I'll probably be giving some snippets and be like, ooh, if something happens. So that should be an interesting game. I think if Buwadi had still been on the team, it might have been a slightly different game, but probably not. But we'll see how it goes, but I'll be keeping an eye on that one. And we got I think we got some watch alongs scheduled for this weekend. And if you don't know about our watch alongs, we'll have a game scheduled, but there's always somebody in the chat watching Liga. So if you want to just join whatever watch along, maybe it's Bundesliga or Serie A or La Liga or Prem, we'll still be commenting on Liga. So feel free to tune in, jump in the chat. Seismically, it was wonderful to have you on. Very great debut. You're welcome on anytime you want, because we love the more league knowledge as possible. So Jorge doesn't have to do all the talking, since I'm just hosting the show and I'm trying to contribute as much as I can. But Jorge has so much more knowledge than I have. So we
But
always
he has
appreciate
more
that.
than me, though. He has more than me, though. I'll put my hands up on that. So.
That's good, though. Yeah, we definitely can always use that. And anyways, guys, merci for watching.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, merci pour tout. And à bientôt. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I feel like there's...
no, Spartacus has got some fucking mad agenda about Donnarumma, though, man.
I know he does.